In this lesson, we're going to learn about a construct called loops. So in VS Code, open up round 1 and find the loops folder and open up run.py. We are starting off where we ended in the last lesson, where we made our car move forward 50 steps 4 times, and we wound up writing all this code for it. Now we're going to learn about a new construct that helps us write programs that have to repeat a command multiple times. Based on the things we learned in the last 2 lessons, let's create a list called number of times, and let's put the numbers 1 through 10 in it. That's not new. Here's the new part. We can write the command for and then a descriptor, a variable, every single number in the range. And this is arbitrary. This is for us to know. And then write in number of times and then colon, just like in the definitions of functions. What this means is for every element in this list, so for every number in this list, execute what's in here. So let's do that. Let's take the command that moves us 1 step forward and put it inside, and we can delete all these lines. What this will do is that it will execute this command for every element that exists in this list. So this will make it run for 10 times. We can also get the number that's currently being iterated on by using this variable name. So let's print just so we can see what that means. Let's copy paste this into the print function and then keep the rest of the program in place. Let's save, go to our web browser and open up the loops lesson, and you'll see that the car moved ahead 200 steps, just like we designed it to. Because this method, this function, is still working as expected, moving forward 10 steps. Let's do the same thing, only this time for this function of moving 50 steps ahead. We'll use the same variable name, and they will not collide because every variable is scoped to the method that it is defined in. And let's copy paste these numbers, and let's do it for 50 steps. So we'll take the same loop code, make sure to indent things correctly, only this time the number of times is less so than before because it has 5 elements in. And for every number in that range, this time don't move 1 step forward, but move 10 steps forward and delete the rest of those lines. Let's save it. And when we refresh the page, you'll see that the car still moves forward 200 steps as we expect. Now the code looks much more concise than before. What if we wanted to make a function that makes the car move forward 200 steps without having to create lists of 200 elements? Programming languages tend to have helper functions that provide more and more abstractions that help with common tasks. So let's change our 10 steps forward function to a 100 steps forward function, only this time instead of writing 100 numbers inside of this list, we're going to use a helper function that Python provides called range. What range does, it takes in a number and it creates a list that starts with 0 and goes all the way up to the number you gave it minus 1. So in total, 100 numbers that starts from 0. So now, when we run this method, this function of move 100 steps forward, it will run the move forward 1 step 100 times because the range, the list that it iterates on, has 100 numbers in it. And we can now call it directly like that. And if we refresh the browser, you'll see the car moving ahead 100 steps. And making this function move forward 500 steps is easy. We don't actually have to change the names because those are for us, but we'll change them to stay consistent and then refresh. And you'll see that the car even leaves the screen now with moving forward 500 steps. So it's working. Let's leave it at 100 steps for now by undoing the changes we made and move forward.